Who's scruffy looking?
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Talking with My Hans channel. Sorry I cut off the intro early, but quite frankly, I just, oh boy, yeah, Star Wars. I would hate to be their PR person right now. They've had a really rough week, and it didn't get any better when Daisy Ridley went on Jimmy Kimmel Live, hosted by Josh Gad, and said this.
Have you been keeping Rey's secret from the beginning? Did you know about the parentage? Like, tell me about that journey of when you found out.
No. At the beginning, there was toying with like an Obi-Wan connection, and then it really went, there were like different versions, and then it really went to that she was no one. And then it came to episode 9, and JJ pitched me the film and was like, oh yeah, Palpatine's granddaddy. And I was like, awesome. And then 2 weeks later, he was like, oh, we're not sure. So it kept changing. So then even I was filming, and I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be.
Of course, then Josh Gad asked if Olaf was among the many characters that Rey could have been related to in the sequel trilogy, and of course Daisy responded with a very hesitant, haha, yes, I think so, and quite frankly, I wouldn't be entirely surprised. Yikes, this one could go in a couple different directions. Let me just say this, if anybody's ever watched the show, The West Wing, about the people that work inside the White House, you realize that the potential for something to go really bad usually skyrockets when somebody misspeaks on live television, and this is exactly what just happened on Jimmy Kimmel Live. I don't even quite know what to say about this. I don't think anybody's surprised that the sequel trilogy was not planned out in its entirety. This is something that we as Star Wars fans have come to accept in recent months, that this trilogy was just not planned all the way, and that the whole "we'll figure it out when we get there" motto was essentially the $900 million idea, which is a little bit disheartening as a Star Wars fan, and especially even as a person that appreciates movie production and what goes into making movies. This just sort of hurts. And I think it only hurts for the fact that it was finally pretty much confirmed with what Daisy had to say on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Now, I'm not going to take away from the fact that these were 3 very good movies, and they made a lot of money, and a lot of people loved them, but it still really bugs me that this was the best they could do planning-wise, that nobody knew, even Daisy didn't know up until the very last minute who she was or who she wasn't in these movies. And I'm not here to demean the producers or the directors or the actors of any of these movies, because it's not my job to make these movies, and it never will be my job to make these movies. And what they do is a very, very, very hard job. So I don't want to say that what they did was lazy, but at the same time, how can I hear all this and know that you left one of the main actresses out of the loop for that long about who she was as a character? And Star Wars is about so many different things, and amongst those things, lineage and family are such big parts of this saga. So to just have your main actress have no idea who her family is up until the very last minute of production just seems so utterly ridiculous to me. And this is coming from someone that really does love each of these movies for what they're worth. And quite frankly, I really do want to be upset at this news. And it's not even really news. It's just something we already knew, just confirmed. I want to be upset, but in my heart of hearts, I actually can't really be that upset, just because personally, I still love these movies. There was nothing about these movies that I didn't particularly dislike all that much. And you guys know that. I'm a big sequel defender. I think each of these movies asks questions and poses ideas that are new to Star Wars, and are really good on their own. And even though this was a mishmash of 3 movies that were cobbled together to the best of their ability, or maybe not so much, but were mishmashed together, I think the story still shines through, and I think the end product of Rey choosing to be something is very powerful. I think her going against her lineage is a powerful message, but still, this hurts. Nevertheless, I should say that we shouldn't be crying over spilt milk. This has already happened. It's over. It's done with. The Rise of Skywalker came out last year. The Last Jedi came out years ago. The Force Awakens has been done and gone for almost half a decade. There's no reason to cry over spilt milk. Nobody's going back to fix this, and nobody will ever go back to fix this. So what we have is what we have. And quite frankly, I don't see the point in demeaning these movies for something they're not, when we can really look at all the great things that they are. And one of those things is that kids love these movies. These movies introduced a whole new generation of fans to Star Wars, and they really don't care who Rey was in the planning stages. The only people that care about that kind of stuff is us older fans who are a dying part of the fandom. Star Wars is generational. It's going to go on forever and ever and ever, and introducing new fans to the franchise is just part of what they do. So, to be quite honest with you, this is not going to matter at all in 10 years. In addition to that, everything that Disney has made Star Wars-wise, not including the movies, of course, has been pretty much universally loved. Obviously, the movies are very decisive, but Rebels was fantastic. The last season of the Clone Wars that was put out was absolutely phenomenal. And The Mandalorian is incredible and is going to go on forever with the way that they're handling things. I just don't see that many negative pieces of Disney Star Wars. I think also, if you're a follower of this channel, we read books all the time. And I can only off the top of my head remember 2 books that I read out of Disney's dozens and dozens and dozens of releases that actually disappointed me. So I don't know why I'm going to bother spending so much time harping on this one minimal thing that's already happened that nobody's going to change. There's a lot more things that are good about Disney Star Wars, and there are things that are questionable or bad, I guess, if you want to say it that way. So the point I'm trying to make is, was what Daisy said on Jimmy Kimmel Live with Josh Gad all that surprising? No, not really. This is stuff that we already knew. And why would we care? We already knew that the sequel trilogy was not the most planned out trilogy out of the 3. Why would we continue to harp on something that doesn't really matter because it's already over? Why aren't we looking forward to better and brighter things that are coming out of Disney Star Wars, like The Mandalorian and Lego Star Wars and maybe the upcoming Rebel sequel and The Bad Batch? Those are just my thoughts on it. And if you have different thoughts, I want to hear them. Or maybe if you have the same thoughts, I want to hear them as well. Leave your thoughts down in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.